told your friend you're not okay.
Hello everyone, welcome back to K-pop news. Today we're diving into one of the hottest, wildest, and most disturbing rumors ARMYs have seen in recent weeks. The rumor emerged so quickly, spread so widely, and has many fans wondering, what exactly are Taehyung and HYBE preparing for 2026? The situation is even more interesting because this rumor doesn't come from a single source. Several major K-pop communities, forums for Korean music industry analysts, and even insider accounts with a reputation for being correct are all suddenly talking about one thing: Taehyung will allegedly be the main face of HYBE's mega-scale announcement for 2026. And what makes the situation even more heated is the timing of this rumor. Taehyung is currently serving in the military, a period usually characterized by quiet and minimal activity. But it is precisely during this quiet period that HYBE's subtle movements are starting to be noticed by fans too observant to ignore them. A few days ago, ARMY noticed a change in the internal rhythm of HYBE. Several senior staff members were seen attending closed-door meetings, executive schedules were reportedly busier than usual, and one thing that stood out most was the intensity of activity related to global brands that had previously and would be collaborating with Taehyung. As small details like these began to emerge, the public began to conclude that HYBE was preparing something much bigger than a typical music project. Some Korean entertainment journalists even went so far as to call it an entry point into a new phase of Taehyung's career, which would begin immediately after his military service ended. Speculations were rife. Some said Taehyung would be the main face of HYBE's global project, a scale unprecedented for any K-pop artist. Others speculated that the project would be related to the international fashion industry, given Taehyung's continued popularity as a magnet for premium global brands. Many theories also suggested that 2026 would mark the beginning of a new era for BTS individually, with each member, including Taehyung, launching a massive project they had been preparing for. Many ARMYs believe this rumor even more strongly because Taehyung always displays a unique work pattern, quiet on the surface, but when he does appear, he comes up with something big, elegant, and full of artistic detail. His track record is never simple. Every comeback, every photo shoot, every brand ambassador project, everything is always handled like a work of art. This makes the rumor of a big 2026 announcement even more plausible. Furthermore, several Korean industry analysts have stated that HYBE is preparing for 2026 as a major acceleration year. The year BTS will return to activity, but with a new strategy that is already beginning to be evident in the way HYBE treats each member individually. In this context, Taehyung is predicted to be a key pillar. With his charisma, visual appeal, artistic ability, and his ever-rising global reputation even while serving in the military, it's highly likely that HYBE sees him as a key player for long-term strategic projects. And as always, the more mysterious HYBE's movements, the greater the ARMY's anxiety. Many Korean fans have commented that HYBE usually hints before major announcements, a busy internal meeting schedule, the presence of global staff in Seoul, and even subtle changes in the rhythm of official account activity. All of this is now happening. And it all points to one name, Kim Taehyung. Is this a music project? Possible. Is this a global collaboration for fashion, visual arts, or an international brand? Very likely. Or, is this something HYBE has never done before? Something truly giant announcement? For now, there has been no official confirmation. But if one thing is certain, it's that ARMY's reaction was explosive even before HYBE spoke. Word of Taehyung 2026 has been making the rounds internationally, and each time the rumor resurfaces, the wave grows larger. Clearly, if this rumor is true, 2026 will be a monumental year, not just for Taehyung, but for the entire K-pop industry. A momentum that could mark a new phase in her career as a soloist, a global artist, and an icon who always goes beyond the boundaries of K-pop standards. And it turns out, what happened after the rumor spread only made the situation even more unsettled. Not only did ARMY begin investigating, but even several Korean media outlets seemed to be getting involved, as if they, too, sensed something unusual was brewing at HYBE. What was interesting was their reporting pattern. No one dared to provide details, no one dared to speculate carelessly, but they all used the same language, cautious, ambiguous, and full of code. One senior journalist from a Seoul entertainment media outlet even wrote a sentence that immediately sent the K-pop community into a frenzy. When an artist serving in the military remains at the center of the company's internal activities, it means something very big will happen upon his return. Fans immediately knew who he was referring to. Not many artists can move a company as big as HYBE with just a rumor. And in fact, in recent months, it's been the same name, Kim Taehyung. Following that initial narrative, a new wave of speculation began to emerge, this time from global industry analysts. Some people who usually focus on the international music market have started talking about HYBE's Global Movement 2026. Some are calling this HYBE's biggest move since BTS's debut, and what makes this rumor even crazier is the alleged role of Taehyung as a key component of this strategy. What makes this story even more heated is how HYBE has kept everything quiet. No teasers. No official leaks. No signals from Taehyung's account, like mysterious photos or cryptic updates. Quite the opposite. The utter silence itself is a sign. Because in Taehyung's world, silence never means nothing. In fact, silence is an indicator that something is being built very seriously, very carefully, and on a scale far larger than the public expects. Some armies began to notice a strange pattern. Global brands began to streamline their work timelines for 2026. Several international photographers known to have worked with Taehyung began liking V-related content. European fashion accounts, which typically rarely discuss K-pop idols, suddenly began mentioning Taehyung in the context of global exclusive ambassador. It all seemed like a coincidence, but for fans who have followed Taehyung for years, nothing is truly coincidence. Then there was another major twist. Activity at the HYBE building seemed a little different. Some staff members who usually work in the creative division were seen working late into the night. Fans observing the building from a distance, yes, armies can be that dedicated, saw numerous black vans entering at night, something that usually only happens when the company is preparing for a major project. Most suspicious was the rumor that some HYBE studio rooms were locked for a secret project, with only certain teams allowed in. There was no official confirmation, but the rumors were enough to keep ARMY awake. At this point, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. HYBE isn't playing small games. If these rumors about a major 2026 announcement are true, then Taehyung plays a major role in the plan. And what makes things even more emotional is the fact that Taehyung is currently fulfilling his national obligations. It's precisely during this time that his career seems to be being nurtured, prepared, and built for a major comeback when he returns. Many believe that 2026 isn't just about Taehyung's return as a member of BTS, but also as a global artist with a rich aesthetic ready to release works on an international scale. There's also speculation that HYBE is preparing a new system to support its members' solo careers, and Taehyung will be the first artist to join this new generation of the system. A system that's more creative, more personal, and allows artists like Taehyung the space to explore their artistic identities more freely. On the other hand, international armies are beginning to discuss the possibility that this major announcement could be related to a multifaceted project. Music, short films, fashion, branding, and perhaps even a visual arts project. We know Taehyung is more than just a singer. He's a visual artist, fashion icon, performer, and visual storyteller. If the project involves Taehyung, then we can expect something extraordinary. And if HYBE is really going to announce something related to Taehyung for 2026, then it's no wonder armies are already excited even before the announcement. Just one rumor can shake the global community.